Success is not a stroke of luck, a one-time effort, or an occasional flash of brilliance. Rather, it is the result of consistent, focused, and persistent effort over time. The quote, "Success doesn't come from what you do occasionally, it comes from what you do consistently," is a powerful reminder that real achievement stems from forming habits, maintaining discipline, and showing up every single day, even when it's difficult, boring, or challenging. We often look for reasons outside ourselves when things don't go as planned. We blame circumstances, lack of resources, or even bad luck. But the truth is, one of the biggest obstacles standing between us and our success is our own mindset. The quote, "Your only limit is the one you set in your own mind," holds a deep truth. The limits we believe in are often the ones we create for ourselves. 1. The power of belief. Your mind is incredibly powerful. The way you think shapes how you see the world, how you act, and what you believe you are capable of achieving. If you believe something is impossible, you won't even try. But if you believe in yourself and your potential, your actions will align with that belief, and success becomes much more likely. Henry Ford famously said, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right." This means that your beliefs define your reality. If you convince yourself that you're not good enough, not smart enough, or not ready, then you'll act in ways that make those beliefs true. But if you flip the switch and believe in growth, learning, and possibility, then your mind becomes your greatest ally. 2. Mental limits are learned, not inherent. No one is born with mental limits. Children believe they can do anything, be superheroes, astronauts, artists. Over time, society, fear, and failure can cause people to adopt self-doubt. We start to say, "I can't, I'm not good enough," or "that's not for me." These thoughts are learned, they are not truths. The good news is that what is learned can be unlearned. You have the ability to reprogram your mind, to question those false limits, and to choose new beliefs that empower you rather than restrict you. 3. Growth comes from stretching the mind. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, you stretch your limits. And every time you do something that once scared you, your confidence grows. The mind works like a muscle. The more you challenge it, the stronger it gets. Great achievers in any field did not get where they are by playing it safe. They succeeded by believing in themselves, pushing past fear, and taking consistent action. They refused to let mental barriers hold them back. Oprah Winfrey overcame poverty, abuse, and rejection, but she didn't let those experiences define her. She believed in her voice and her value. Nelson Mandela was imprisoned for 27 years, but kept his vision for a free South Africa alive in his mind. Stephen Hawking, despite being confined to a wheelchair with a degenerative disease, became one of the most brilliant minds in science. Each of them shattered perceived limits, not because they were superheroes, but because they trained their minds to believe in possibility. 4. Fear, the root of mental limits. Many of the limits we set in our minds come from fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. But fear is just a feeling, not a fact. It's a natural response to challenge and uncertainty, but it shouldn't control your decisions. The key is to act in spite of fear. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision that something else, your dreams, your purpose, your growth, matters more. 5. Breaking mental barriers. Here are practical ways to overcome self-imposed limits. Change your inner dialogue. Instead of "I can't," say "I'm learning." Instead of "this is impossible," say "how can I figure this out?" Surround yourself with positive influences. Spend time with people who uplift and inspire you, not those who reinforce doubt. Visualize success. See yourself achieving your goals. Feel what it would be like. The brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality, so use that to your advantage. Set small goals. Success builds confidence. Start small and let each win motivate you to reach further. Stay persistent. Failure doesn't mean you've reached a limit. It just means you found a method that didn't work. Try again, smarter. 6. Your mind, your masterpiece. Your mind is the master key to everything. It can either imprison you in fear and doubt or set you free to create and conquer. The choice is yours. Your dreams don't need permission. Your goals don't need validation. What they need is you, believing, trying, growing. Remember, there is no wall unless you build it. No cage unless you lock yourself in. Limits are not real until you accept them. Most of the boundaries we experience are mental, not physical. If you want to live fully, create, achieve, and grow, then you must take control of your thoughts. Success begins in the mind. When you break free from self-imposed beliefs, the world opens up in ways you never imagined. So repeat this truth often. Your only limit is the one you set in your own mind. And then, go out and prove it wrong. 1. The myth of the one-time effort. One of the biggest misconceptions about success is the belief that a single effort can lead to extraordinary results. We often hear stories of people who seem to have become successful overnight, but what we don't see are the years of effort, failure, learning, and discipline behind that moment of breakthrough. Take the example of a professional athlete. Their success is not determined by a single training session or a single game. It's the result of thousands of hours spent practicing, conditioning, refining techniques, and building mental toughness. The same principle applies to musicians, writers, entrepreneurs, or students. Talent may give someone a head start, but without consistent practice and effort, that talent will fade into mediocrity. Occasional effort is simply not enough. You can't go to the gym once and expect to be fit. You can't eat healthy for one day and expect to be healthy. You can't study once and expect to ace your exams. In every aspect of life, success demands consistency. 2. Why consistency matters. A. It builds momentum. When you do something regularly, you gain momentum. Each small action builds on the one before it, creating a compounding effect. Whether you're writing a book, building a business, or learning a new skill, every consistent action brings you one step closer to your goal. B. It develops discipline. Consistency requires discipline. Showing up day after day, especially when you don't feel like it, strengthens your self-control and mental resilience. Over time, you become someone who can be trusted to follow through, both by others and by yourself. C. It builds trust and reputation. In professional life, consistency in your work, communication, and behavior builds your reputation. Clients, colleagues, and employers come to rely on you. Trust is not built through a single action, but through a repeated pattern of reliability and performance. D. It produces measurable results. Success is often a matter of numbers. The more times you take action, even small ones, the more results you generate. A writer who writes every day will have a library of work in a year. A salesperson who makes calls daily will have more leads than one who only does it when they feel inspired. 5. Overcoming the challenges of consistency. Maintaining consistency is not easy. Here are a few common challenges and how to overcome them. Lack of motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline is what keeps you going when motivation fades. Build routines that support your goals even when you don't feel like it. Perfectionism. Don't aim for perfect, aim for done. It's better to take imperfect action consistently than to wait for the perfect moment or perfect effort. Distractions. In a world full of distractions, staying focused is crucial. Set clear goals, eliminate distractions, and create an environment that supports your consistency. Impatience. Success takes time. Don't expect immediate results. Stay committed, trust the process, and remember that progress, no matter how small, is still progress. 6. Consistency in character and values. Beyond habits and routines, consistency in character is also vital. Being consistent in your values, your words, and your actions earns you respect and integrity. People are drawn to those who are dependable and authentic. When you consistently live by your values, honesty, kindness, hard work, you build a legacy that others admire and trust. 7. Success stories that prove the power of consistency. Thomas Edison. He tried thousands of times before finally inventing the light bulb. He famously said, "I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." J.K. Rowling. Rejected by multiple publishers, she kept submitting her manuscript for Harry Potter, which went on to become one of the most successful book series in history. Michael Jordan practiced for hours every day, long after others had left the court. His consistent dedication made him a legend in basketball.